There we go. Make sure it's working. Maybe boomerang a little bit here, people. Okay. That looks good.
How's the whole working from home thing going for you?
Okay.
Whoa! What now?
That looks good.
How's the whole working from home thing?
Well, I was supposed to live stream with somebody today, but that's apparently not going to happen. So I'm just going to wing it by myself. Hey, whatever. Yeah. Also having some legitimate technical difficulties. I am a legitimate technical difficulty. And if this sucks for you guys, just imagine it also sucks for me. So okay, so we've started, I hope. Yeah, I was supposed to live stream with somebody today, but I guess that's not going to happen. So there we go. And while I'm talking aimlessly, I'm going to work on a little project that I've been working on off and on for about a year now. I'm actually making a demonstration gun to a slightly new specification. And yeah, there we go. I want to work on that. I'm not ignoring everybody if there's actually anybody in here. Let me see. All right, so got about 10-15 second delay. For what it's worth, it's not my fault. Cooking. Okay. All right. There we go. I can almost guarantee that everybody who might be interested in this are currently over at another channel trying to find out what's going on. I even got these old e-cigarettes out storage just for this. Oh, hey, troll. Hey, you gonna be here? That's one. Yeah, actually, I can see your comments because I'm watching my stream. Not a total and complete shit show, but it's not going to plan. Might just drag you in here, chat with you. How about that? Okay. It says two watching now, and I know I'm one. So I'm just gonna guess somebody out there is watching. Um, well, I'll talk about my next project. How about that? I'm actually getting a set of those. Those of you who are a little older, you remember these old Betsy cap guns? There's one style that's legal in California, and I'm getting a set of one of each. I'm going to put them together for a demonstration of the different firearms functions. You know, black muzzle loader, bolt action, repeater, pump action, and uh, well, the last one, they say it's modeled on the M14. I said, okay, sure. You just go ahead and tell yourself that. But it demonstrates an assault weapon, so reasonably well. So, okay, fine. I'll go for that. Um, Matter of fact, I'm actually planning on rebuilding one. That's PC you all saw a few minutes ago. And that way I can say, okay, this is a pump action. The way it works is this. I actually have my own AR, but I'm not going to use it for that video because the ones that I'm getting from California are all green and pink color, so they'll show up on camera really well. Other projects I'm working on. I'm actually getting ready for a belt buckles project again. Turns out they might be useful. Also, will be a much bigger one. Last time it was only like a dozen. This time we might be talking a lot. It's too bad the one guy fell out on me. Could have had him made much more cheaply that way. But oh well. Yeah. Troll, if you get home before I finish the stream, I might just drag you in here kicking and screaming. How about that? Kidnap you over YouTube. First ever YouTube kidnapping. Oh, cool. All right. So StreamYard is actually telling me that people are in the chat, and I'm going to show that. Oh, see, that's how it works. I'm also learning here. No, I don't know how any of this crap works. Oh, okay. Not so boomer. All right. What else? Oh, actually, Troll, especially, you might want to get in on my new project. So let me do this the hard way because I obviously have no clue what I'm doing. Or not much. Yeah, that's not important. There we go. There we go. Yeah, this is there you go. You know what? The subject was supposed to be talking about guns, so screw it. That's what I'm going to talk about. Guns, guns, guns. My life would be so boring without them. Kind of. Um, the only logical reason to ban guns is because the people that want them banned are planning on doing something for which they should actually be shot. I'm going to get in trouble for saying that. I give no fucks. It's the truth. And I'm speaking from personal experience here. I used to be one of those people. I grew up. Uh, I realized just how stupid the idea was after the Columbine shooting. Actually, I think that's what I'll talk about first is my own history. Back in the 80s when I was a little kid, I didn't understand guns for nothing. They were fun. I'm an 8-year-old kid. What do I know? 14-year-old kid in 89. What the hell did I know? Along comes a series of school-related kidnappings and shootings and other events that very much upset. Hey, Jim, would have helped if this had gone off according to the original plan. Um, a series of school-related kidnappings and shootings, and all of a sudden, somebody I'd never heard of before because I lived my entire life in California, by the name of Biden, says, we're going to ban the guns in schools and we're going to make everybody safe. And of course, I'm early high schooler. I think I was a sophomore in high school when the School Gun Control Act passed. And I believed all of the bullshit and lies that they gave us about we're going to put cops in schools, we're going to put security on schools. Thank you. So do I. We're going to put everything and we're going to make the school safe. I'm maybe 16 years old. Of course, I'm going to believe that these people have my best interests at heart. Okay, that was maybe stupid, and I'm 16 at the time. Flash forward uh, to 99, and I remember it was 99 because it would have been around April, May or June of 99 when I was trying to get to the Guard. Was Columbine. And that was a big wake up call to me. Hey, you can ban guns in schools all you want, but until you make them disappear, they're not, it's meaningless. By this point, the assault weapons ban has been passed, and I'm waiting to see what's going to happen, of course. The idea was that if we ban these guns, eventually the pool would dry up. Okay, all right, that makes sense. When you're 18 and have never taken an industrial lesson in your life. And it made sense because guns are made up of a lot of complicated parts. Let me grab my. Well, cleared. Okay. Gun is made up of a lot of complicated parts, but this part here is, of course, the most complex because it's a load-bearing unit, right? That's a lot of pressure in there. It has to be made to very important tolerances. Okay. So far, it makes sense. I found that my support for these gun control laws was waning, but I actually thought if we ban all of the guns, then they'll eventually just go away. And yeah, there'll be a zip gun here and there, but match heads in a steel pipe. How many people are you really going to kill with that? Then a funny thing happened. And I've talked about this before. 2005, while I was at A school, my former partner, my late partner, my current partner's uh, husband, yeah, Troll, I'm about to hit that one square in the head. Hold on to that thought too, Jim. All right, so Brett catches up with me at A school, and we go to a hotel, and he says, "Hey, kid, you still got that 9mm?" I had an M9 because that's what the military was carrying at the time. I said, yeah, why? Go and get it. Okay, boomer. So I go and I get it, and I bring it to him, and he has on the desk of this hotel room this machine. I've never really seen one up close. I've heard of them, and it's like a tracing machine, only it's got a really big drill-looking thing on one side in place of a second pencil. Gun down. He picks it up and he starts stripping it to the point where there's not even paint touching metal in some spots. Now, me being so wise and intelligent and knowing everything, right? I go lay down on the couch, and I think I was watching History Channel, or not the couch, the other mattress, and I'm just sitting back. Yeah, no problem there, right? Ah, ah, ah. Keep that in mind. So, a couple hours later, he's done, and he starts putting the parts from my gun onto his gun. He says, "Okay," racks it. Says, "Okay, let's go." No. Hmm? You are not using my gun for that. I guess he anticipated that because he pulled five $100 bills out of his shirt pocket and says, "If anything goes wrong, I'll buy it off you right here and now. Let's rock." You can make a primer cap. It's very difficult. I do know of somebody I know of. I don't know the man myself who's done it. Anyway, we go off to this little back corner, actually, of um, Yorktown National Park. It's reserved for the drills and the reenactors so that they can shoot, so that they can practice and be ready. Right? No problem. And this hill has been shot at every generation since probably the Civil War for reenactors. Okay. So we're sitting there and we're shooting his frame with my parts. About an hour or so goes by. Okay, you got me. You can make the frame, but you still can't make the barrel. And he gets this look in his eye. Says, uh-huh. Starts stripping the gun down, pulls the barrel out, hands it to me. He'd done a really good job, but he deliberately left part of the barrel unfinished so that I could see that he had made the gun himself. Told me later that he used a lathe and basically the same tool that he'd used to make my lower receiver to make this homemade barrel. It was rifled and everything. It was beautiful. It was perfect. And it so pisses me off. When I think about it, mostly I'm pissed that he got me, that I was wrong. Um, Part of what I'm always going to be pissed about is he tricked me. Did not appreciate that part. He was right. And right that day, any thought of gun control died in my head because he had proven that the most technologically advanced component of the gun, he could make it home with really fairly basic components. Yes, he had a good lathe, not one of those 16-inch um, oh, Harbor Freight specials. This was I think, a 24-inch industrial, And he didn't have it at home, but he had access to it. And that was the important part. All he used that for, though, was to apparently bore it out and to ream it, because the barrel is one size, firing chamber is a slightly larger size for the shell casing to fit in. And then he rifled it out somehow. I think I know how he did it, because I seen a video by the Idahoan show where he does it with basically a modified drill bit and a bottle jack. Um, for those of you that have followed the channel for a while, this is Confessions of a gun control supporter 2.0. And give me a second. There's somebody I was hoping would show up. Actually, there's two people I was hoping would show up. Who are you? So hopefully Death Ray will now show up. And oh, okay. And hopefully Fix will show up in comments at least. We'll see. Probably Angel, actually. And that's the day that the gun control supporter died. Mandatory carry was still 2016, I think, is when I actually started the page. Before that, it was just a basic concept, hey, everybody should be required to carry in public. But how would you enforce that? All right, if you have the right to do something, you have a right not to not do it. So how would you enforce it? And actually, the original data slough was a literal copy and paste of the Kennesaw Ordinance. About 6 or 8 months later, I realized this isn't really going to work as well as I thought. So I started working on a whole new concept, but the end result has always been the same. The only really significant change over the last 2 years, I think, was the addition of the Antifa exemption. And that was literally, I think, the same week that they tried to burn the library at Berkeley down with Milo in it, chanting, "Burn him out, burn him out." Oh, okay. I think I can see why you guys need an exemption. Um, Go ahead and ask questions. I don't usually get too upset. 12 gauge with 1-inch galvanized pipe. Yes. Jim says you can make a 12 gauge with 1-inch galvanized pipe easily. There's like 12 videos, and I've got a standing offer. Anybody that wants to make some money on those gun buybacks, as long as it's actual cash and not one of those goddamn Walmart gift cards. Okay, hi, Trill. Not one of those goddamn Walmart gift cards. I will front you half the money. Well, I'll front you some money, and we'll talk about how much. You front an equal amount or less or whatever. We'll talk about the numbers later. You make the guns, or the pipe guns. You take them into one of those gun buybacks, and we'll split it on a contractual basis. And you do have to ream out the iron pipe a little bit for the shell casing. Well, I guess I should say every time I've seen somebody do it, they've reamed it out. But why really stop there? All right. Farmcraft 101, he made a lower receiver out of melted soda cans. They were white with blue lettering because that's the kind of soda he drinks. Um, and it was actually really nice. He also, in the extended cut, used a tiny piece of the fill line. He had a specific word for that. Basically, you make a couple holes into the green sand, I think it was that he used to let air out as you're pouring the melted aluminum down in. He took a tiny little piece of that and actually made a shell casing. And it looked good, but I had a bad feeling about it, and I was right. That shell casing just disintegrated first try. Okay, well, you know what? No problem. He tried something that most people wouldn't. Um, I've also heard it said ban the ammo and it'll all run out. Well, Deuces and Guns proved that wrong. He reloaded with black powder into a 300 blackout. Yeah, 300 blackout. Now, it was not perfect. There was some legitimate issues. You're trying to run blackout or black powder through a gun designed for cordite. It's not as powerful, and the gas system was letting just a little bit of gas out, which was causing the bolt to move a little bit, but not all the way, and it was failing to cycle properly. Really simple solution for that: close off the gas port. Okay, now you've got a perfectly good bolt action rifle in 300 blackout. Actually, I addressed that in one of my videos too. Um, and then there's the penultimate, of course, is Canadian Allen, who made a Mac 10 in 45 caliber. He says he never, well, actually, in one of the videos, he admits that, yeah, I fired it once. And it's an automatic only. I think he's bullshitting us. I don't think he really fired it. Or if he did, he just like one or two rounds just to make sure it actually worked. I want to talk about that one actually. Out of a nail gun. Those kinds you hit them. There's actually a very technical word for this. But you hit them with a hammer, and a 22 blank will go off, and it'll send the nail into concrete. Use the barrel off of one of those. Just spread it out. My understanding is he didn't rifle it. Well, okay, that's fine because it still works. And he describes it as total trash, and he made a working Mac 10 out of it. I'm gonna get the chats real quick. Here, I figure that would make a mess of an action. I assume you mean the black powder, and yeah, I'm absolutely sure you're right. That's dirty as fuck, which is why he was using a worn out barrel. Yeah. Okay, so black Troll says black powder. Uh Troll, I'm not sure what ram set it. Oh, the tool ram set. Thank you. He used a ram set for the barrel. That's right. Thank you. And it works. And it works perfectly fine. Well, I don't know if it quite works perfectly fine. He's also not the only person to ever do anything like that. First of all, Tim did one that was not automatic. Oh, It was actually a single shot Utah gun, I think he says it's called, in 40 cal. And he actually takes it out and shoots it. And it's a little bit off because he didn't align the bore properly while using a Home Depot or Harbor Freight special drill press. At least Brent used a real lathe. Okay. So yeah, but Tim did it with a damn drill press from Harbor Freight. So yeah, you're gonna ban drill presses and bottle jacks as well, because it's the same video that he used the drill press to bore out the barrel, turned around and rifled it partially using a bottle jack. Troll, 99 degrees at 98% humidity today. I hope you were working inside. Because I know you were in Australia, right? So there is no such thing as vegetation to hide under. Uh, so yeah, it doesn't work. It'll never work. It's not just the mills. You got to ban the drill presses, the bottle jacks, drill bits, because he used part of a drill bit oh, for the rifling process. Um, Farmcraft did use a proper digital mill, not a CNC. As far as I can tell, it was not a CNC. It was just a digitally accurized mill. Troll, I'm sorry, Georgia. That's right. Because I was hoping you would make it to Den's uh, live stream so that you could hear something else I wanted to talk to him about. Um, I'm involved with a project to try to build a park down in Louisiana, but it's going nowhere fast. Brent's dream was to build a historic park, excuse me, a historic reenactment center. Just a 2-acre park where people who blacksmiths, gunsmiths, loomers, weavers, everybody from history's lost sciences and arts could come in and practice and maybe even ply their trade. But when Brent passed away back in February, it really hit a brick wall. It hit every brick wall all at the same time. Jim, you're not that old. I hope to survive the rest of my life with ashes buried underground. I'll make it. Someone in the future will shit when they find them. Don't tell. Troll, I'll build homemade rocket motors. Don't mess with Country Boy. I believe you. I actually absolutely believe you, partially because I know how you would do it. I know the concepts. It's called the Cosgrave rocket, and if you put it in a tube, it's actually a lot more efficient. Um, so I'm going to use a real bullet here to simulate a rocket. Basically, you make the shell like this, then you drill, I think it's 3 holes at 35 degrees off of square, and what is this? 1/3 of a circle off of each other. When you light it, and a hole at the back for the main thrust. when you light it, the main hole will pump out most of the power, but these little holes will cause it to spin. That makes it gyroscopically accurate, which means you can actually hit the thing you're aiming at. And for us Americans, the rocket's red glare for British Cosgrave rockets being fired on Fort Monroe. Okay, let me see. Jim, I've been a pyro for 40 years, can make some cool shit up. I believe you. I am not reading that out loud, but I do like swamps. Jim, this side towards enemy. All right, so everybody that's been following the channel more than about 30 seconds will know that this is legitimately me. That is my religion, people. I don't care what people say, that is my religion. Marines aren't the only cultists. Fuck you. And part of that religion at one time, I was that tiny little piece of the Coast Guard that killed people and broke shit. Port Security Unit 312 out of San Francisco. As part of getting into a port security, the funny thing about the military, and if you've been in, you know this is true. Everywhere you wanted to be, you're not going to end up, or you're going to end up miserable. Everywhere you didn't want to be, you ended up happy and not wanting to leave. All right. I did not want to be in port security in any way, shape, or form. I also did not want to be in a black hole in any way, shape, or form. My first unit was black hole. My last unit was PSU, and my last unit was PSU, and I hated leaving that PSU more than anything. I hated leaving the black hole more than anything. Everywhere else I left, I was like, whatever. Peace out, right? Sorry about that, folks. So part of getting into a port security unit is you have to go to PSU school. PSU school is actually Camp Devil Dog out at Camp Lejeune Marine Corps Base. They lease or give or lend or something us. I think it's a half dozen hooches out at Camp Devil Dog, and we set up a PSU base there for one of the 2 weeks we're there. The other week we're at the barracks. And our final is actually a security zone. My team starts off in the vehicle inspection area, and the instructor comes over and he says, and there's these jersey barriers, big heavy concrete ones, not the little plastic toy ones. And he says, okay, he points to the jersey barrier and says, okay, what's this for? And me, a certain third class Muslims mate, being a smart ass that I am, he was, said, oh, that's for mounting the claymores. He didn't say anything else to me. The rest of the day, he wouldn't say anything because he could not laugh at that. The final part of the final test, we ended up on the 50 cal. 50 cal is when it's this, whatever it is, it's all over and everybody's dying tonight, right? We just happened to be there when the when the car bomb scenario starts. Okay. I'm looking over at the main gate area, and there's a couple of guys, they're acting weird. I don't know. Truck is blaring the horn so hard, I can actually feel it. Okay, so it was like 300 feet away, but I could still feel that horn blaring. What the f is going on over there, right? I turn to my chief, and my chief is rallying the guys at the edge of the tree line because he's trying to figure it out himself. Okay, and I didn't hear him call the rally, so I kept spinning around. Looked at that because I realized something's wrong. 50 cal, 50 cal. Oh shit, I better get on the 50 cal because nobody's on the 50 cal before the chief, the school chief catches us not manning it. Oh shit, I better get on it. Bang. I swear to God, I just said bang because that's the warning shot. Bang, bang. And the horn's still blaring. Bang, 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 bang. I was going on for so long. Then I started singing bang, bang, bang to the Meow Mix song. Bang, 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 bang. Then I got bored and just started bang, 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 bang. Finally, the chief, this is going on for like a minute. Finally, the chief gets out of the truck. He's doing nothing but yelling at people. You screwed up, you screwed up, you screwed up. He yells at us, 50 cal, did you open fire? You're dead, chief. I could hear myself kind of reflect off the truck. That's how loud I yelled. All right. And goes back to berating at literally everyone else. By this time, the rest of the team had long since opened fire, and I know they did because I could actually see one particular member of my team start to drift into my peripheral vision, which means he's past where he's supposed to be. He needed to back up a little bit. I stopped shooting. Bang, 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 bang. Badus, yeah, that's the common nickname, troll. And now I got to get back over the chats and catch up because I know you guys were talking. Troll, hey, yeah, Jim, just had a crazy chem teacher in school. He tipped me into proper rocket fuel. Oh, very nice. Uh, Troll, military intelligence is two words that do not belong together. Oh, Jim, best rock chemistry sucks in school nowadays. Um, I got real gunpowder out of my chem instructor, so still have it somewhere. It's probably not worth touching at this point. All right. I swear to God, I'm not ignoring you guys. I am checking it as it views on YouTube. Make Up LiveStream. I got one thumbs up, and it says 3 watching now. I think I'm the 3rd. Okay. All right. So if anybody else comes in, please make a comment. Actually, yeah, Jim, I'm not as experienced as this as other people are, so they might know more about what they're doing than I do. Or a point that's not hard. All right. Okay. So the description has been updated. Hopefully, I'll know when people walk in. Uh, what can I say? I got issues, Jim. I play with claymores, and I actually kind of think it's funny. $20 an ounce days. Okay, I'm caught up. Uh, Jim, that was back in the 70s when rules were very, very different. Um, so you get a lot away with a lot. Yeah, believe it or not, I actually do remember very barely the 70s. Just like everybody else who remembers the 70s, it's very barely. Troll, you blew beaver dams all over Georgia. Is that legal? Are you allowed to screw with wildlife like that? Of course, do I care? Jim, yes. I think I'm a little too fond of those things and cannons. It's cannon. I can take it or leave it. Although, if this had gone off without a hitch, I was going to drop something on Den that he would never recover from. How many of you can name the only type of um, musket still in military service? Jim says, I got a new inbox Smith & Wesson stainless mod 661 66 tac 1 decimal 357. I'm going to assume that that's a revolver because, well, from 1978, because all revolvers before 1996, 1997, something like that, were revolvers. Um, Troll, well, yes, when a dam floods farmland, we blow it up. Okay. I have every confidence that there is a very simple exception for that. And Jim says that 66 tac 1 was, yep, a whole old school handmade revolver. Oh, okay. So I would probably remember of them from, oh hell, it was the um, Adam 12, something like that. I think it was LAPD TV series from the 70s, and it was paired against the firefighter paramedic show. I want to say Rescue 911. I know, or no, maybe it was just Rescue. I do remember the 70s. I also remember uh, at one point there was this trumpet music that would come on TV at night, and that's when mom and dad would yell at us to go to bed. And it was usually dead because mom was always very upset. That was the first season of Nightline, and those of you that remember that far back know exactly what I just said. Troll, because OW, our water, maybe? I'm sorry, I don't know what that means. Um, on a related note, Jim, y'all, you two remember the story I just told y'all about how Brent tricked me? And I'm still kind of butthurt about that, but I'm even more butthurt about the fact that he was right and I was wrong. A couple years ago, actually, him and my now partner got married, and she took over the partnership half of Mandatory Carry, mostly posting on Facebook when I'm back in Fascist Book Prison. Um, that year, he had a very serious, well, year before that, he had a very serious accident at work. The kind of accident that doesn't happen unless you intend for it to happen, or somebody intends for it to happen. He didn't. Um, so he retired and built his own little gun factory. Fortunately, he put it into an LLC, so when he died back in February, she took over. And if y'all think I'm an extremist, you ain't seen shit. All right. Fixed bayonets is like, I'm here on the extremism scale. This is a non-extremist. Okay. She's crazy. Okay. Gonna catch up on the chats. Troll, my mom let me stay up to watch Glow. Okay. Jim, I don't own a Glock or an AR. I like Sega 12 gauge. I've heard a lot about Sega 12 gauge and none of it bad, except if you're not familiar with Rock and Lock, which I'm not, it's clumsy at first. And Mini 14 and 30 carbine and various 44 mags. Mini 14 and okay, Mini 14. My old man has a Mini 14. My brother's getting that when he passes away because I got my AR. I don't need it. Troll, a 661 is an ow, my wrists hurt. Okay, I get it now. Troll, I'm not sure what the Blackhawk is, to be honest with you. I guess it's a model of pistol considering context. And Jim, you have a bunch of Rugers. I'm sorry. Ruger is in shit city for those who don't know with um, the community because they're well not shit city. They're some a lot of hate and malcontent because their quality control has really slid the last few years. And it is what it is. Hopefully they'll bounce back. Troll, okay, gorgeous ladies of wrestling. I could talk for about an hour on that subject alone, and I might. Jim, yep, it has a 2.5-inch barrel on. Okay, so it's a snub nose 357 revolver. I think I might vaguely know what you're talking about. 44 revolver single action. All right. Um, Unpopular opinion. Professional wrestling is a legitimate sport. Really unpopular opinion. It's not wrestling. It's gymnastics. Changed my mind. Jim, I actually don't have right now a Keltec Sub 2000 in 40 cal with a big stick. Right now, it's with my dad because I figured he needed it more for his cabin because he does have coyotes and, well, maybe not coyotes. He keeps saying bobcats, or no, excuse me, mountain lions that come around the cabin. And he has a dog who's kind of stupid. So I figured Dad could probably use that gun more than I could. Um, Keltec is really good about trying new stuff. Just really crazy out there, like a folding 9mm and 40 cal carbine. Who would have done something like that? Well, they did, actually. They also have a folding 5.56 that is 4179 compatible. I don't want one of those, but they have a pistol 4179 compatible 5.56. I actually do want one of those for the novelty alone. I don't want it because it's a good gun. I want it for the novelty. Okay, Jim says Ruger Super Blackhawk 44 mag with 10.5-inch barrel. And I'm going to guess that's what Troll was talking about. So that's what you want. Actually, now that that's been spelled out for me, I do know what I do know what you're talking about. And yes, that's a little old school, but it's a good gun. Don't knock it. Jim, all my guns are old and collectibles except a few shooters. It's not collectible until it's not safe to shoot. Before that, it's still a shooter. I love all my 1911s. Unpopular opinion, I do not like 1911s. Too many safeties. Um, you got a safety on top of the safety on top of the safety, and when it's really got to go now time, and you forget to squeeze as hard as you could have, or you forget this or you forget that, it can be a real pain in the ass. I don't even like all the safeties on the M9, mostly because they're pointless. Like the the pin block. For those of you that don't know, there's a block that has to come up and out of the upper receiver for the pin to go forward. That's ridiculous. All right, that's safeties on top of safeties on top of safeties. At least the 1911 doesn't have that, I think. Uh, okay. Troll says Super Blackhawk is double action. I believe so. Jim says I can hit shit with that 40. Oh, you can't just hit shit. You can knock it into the next time zone. Troll nice. No, I prefer Glocks, and I know that there are people that are not fan of Glocks. And I know some of the reasons. For example, they're light and fast and easy, but no one has ever turned in an insurance report on a 1911 that says my dog ate my gun. That has actually happened, fortunately, not to me. Jim, I made a 1911 from parts 2 years ago. Is that a parts kit or an 80% receiver kit? Or did you actually mill out all the pieces yourself like my friend did? Jim, no, that is the Red Hawk. Black Hawk is single action. Okay. Troll, the Black Hawk is single action. Sorry. Oh, excuse me. In case you guys didn't see it, the most beautiful, terrible thing ever showed up on Forgotten Weapons channel the other day. Worst AK ever. There's about 2 seconds of filming of the gun in action because that's all the longer it lasted. Um, so I'm going to use this blue gun, pretend that it's an AK first of all. The guy's got it. The guy's got it. And the entire gas block flew off. No, I'm not joking. The video shows gas block flying off. Ian's filming that. They stop everything right there. He takes it and he forensically studies this thing. Like what went right is basically where he got to by the end of it. The only thing that the guy who made it did right was he used a standard parts kit gas block. Not gas block, uh, gas piston system. That he just installed as is. That's the only thing he did right. I've actually said I want to buy that gun. Um, However, for safety reasons, I want that barrel blocked so thoroughly that maybe the bolt can't actually shut. Whoever the jackoff was that built that thing, first of all, he marked it for 223 millimeter. Okay. Second of all, he brazed the gas block into place. What? You don't braze anything on a gun. I've never heard of it anyway. Um, the latch for the stock was not installed. The rivets were crap. I mean, I'm not even an AK guy, right? I don't like AKs, and I can look at that and say, wait a second, that doesn't look right. There's nothing redeeming about this. So and first of all, I don't know if this is legal, and it sure as shit ain't safe. The guy actually ground down the lugs on the bolt. in order to get it to close. I don't even know the words that just came out of my mouth because I've never heard of that before. All right, give me a second. I'm going to catch up on the chat. Okay, Jim says World War II parts in a 1980 raw frame from the forge. Okay, nice. World War II Remington, Rand, Slide, and Cold Barrier. Wow, Rand was still around back then? Well, I should say as late as then. Shoots great, I believe you. Troll, I learned fast drawing with a Blackhawk. Single action is so much safer for live practice. Yeah, okay, I'll trust you on that. Foster Raw Frame. That's a name I haven't heard in a while. Foster, are they still in business? Even did the parkerization myself. And Jim says, be right back. That's fine. Unlike some people, because I do these e-cigarettes sometimes, I can smoke inside. And nobody cares. Yeah, not ignoring y'all, I promise. Oh, retry. There is somebody I really hope shows up. Okay, sent. Let's see if there's a message. Well, it was sent, but she didn't see it. That sucks. Okay. Well, ask a question, or I'm just going to tell another sea story of some sort. I don't like black powder guns because I had a very bad experience with one once. Um, Operator error, first of all, and I don't want to get into it, but I had a black powder musket that the entire barrel tore up on me, and I'm actually lucky it didn't explode. So I'm not a big fan of black powder. Although there's still one musket, I just said musket, in standard military service. And the last black powder gun is also in standard military service. It's also the only gun ever designed specifically for saving lives. Was completely unuseful for killing people, and in fact was sabotaged against that partially by making it black powder. That was the Lyle gun. It actually looks like an old Civil War era ship's gun because that's exactly what they based it on, but it's really small, short, squat barrel, not like a mortar, but more like a model of a Napoleonic field or ship's gun in this ridiculously oversized carriage frame, excuse me. And what they would do is they'd put a shot, well, they put the powder, they'd put a special kind of shot, and it really does look like a car piston engine today. Don't try putting a car piston engine in one. You'll only destroy it and kill yourself in the process. But if you had a ship that was near shore in distress, put the piston in with the eye bolt pointed out, tied to a messenger line, fire in the hole, and that shot would go out and hopefully between the masts and back into the water on the other side, but at very least it'd get caught up in the rigging. And the people on board could then pull that messenger line on board, eventually bringing over a block. That block would bring a what they called a breeches buoy, which is actually a round buoy with a pair of shorts like thing mounted in it. And one by one, you could get everybody off that ship. Now, save the ship. You don't save the ship. Who cares? You got all the people off. Oh boy. Um, there has only ever been one user for the Lyo gun. Life-saving stations when it was the life-saving service, and Coast Guard SAR stations when life-saving service got taken over by the Revenue Cutter Service, I think, just before the merger of the first four and then the Lighthouse Service the year after. Okay, chat. Uh, Troll, I hope you make it back. Jim, I bought a collection from a dead client 2 years ago, put together and put a 1911 together from a frame, slide, and barrel in there. There were that many 1911s in his collection that you could put one together from random parts. That's a big collection. I don't know if you caught this earlier, Jim, but I'm actually building a collection of toy guns for demonstration only purposes. I first got the idea back in 2006, 6 or 7. Oh, no, before that. Now, anyway, about that time. I was going to comic book conventions, and I'd see these kids running around cosplaying. You know, they dress up as characters from comic books, anime, whatever. And there was one that really got my attention. He was he had an M14 and an Artemis Army uniform. There's only one little problem with that. Um, that series, they used bolt action rifles, not automatics. Automatic, or excuse me, self loaders weren't developed yet. And I saw that and I thought, that's just not right. And I wanted to put this collection together, rent a table, and then have the collection there so that people could just walk up and say, hey, I watch those who, you know, like this series, and they had a gun and I can't identify. Can you help me out? Okay, well, can you show me a clip? Watch the clip. Okay, that's a black powder musket or pump action gun, maybe shotgun, maybe not. And then I got married instead. And I kind of forgot about it until the divorce. And then I realized I have all this time on my hands. And I started working on the project again. Since then, the law has changed. California, in particular, requires them to be this ridiculous orange and green color. And that was great because it'll show up on camera that much better. Okay, Jim, this is great. First I caught, do dishes and crash soon. Understood. Have a good night. 1911s and parts, okay? Jim, next time you post a video, let me know. Even if it's just logging again. Troll, you're still here. Yeah, I was supposed to do this with somebody else, but that kind of fell through. So hope you do it again soon. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll actually have a subject to work from next time. Take care, Jim. Okay, well, Troll, you ask a question while I check to see. Okay, that one went through. Good. I don't think Death Ray is going to make it. Um, Death Ray is somebody that found me on the Instagram account. Uh, I think because I follow stilettos and shotguns there, and the name caught her attention. Turns out, yes, actually a her bragging about her daughter just graduated from high school. So congratulations. I feel sort of like a raisin. Hold on. Oh, you're dried out. Yeah, I feel you. 0%, like 2% humidity here and 105 out. That sucks. And that's in the shade. What? Troll, you're asking what is the creepiest thing I have experienced personally? Um, 2015 or 16. Um, I was working security at the bus barn for Salem School District, and I'm walking around, but something's not right, and it feels not right. Now it was kind of cool that day because it was late spring coming in summer. Something's just and it's that feeling like it's just not right, and you can't figure out why. And then I see a police car because the bus barn is actually right next to the overpass for I-5. I see a police car going up and then stop. It turns out somebody's been sitting up there watching me all damn night. I think somehow my brain was registering there was somebody up there not moving, like in the peripheral of my vision, but I couldn't actually see him clearly and directly because I'm not looking up there. I'm looking around the bus barn looking for somebody trying to break in and set fire to the buses again. The second creepiest thing I've ever experienced was my stalker. Not going to get into too many details because police were involved at one point. But for about 2 years, I actually had some chick who was stalking me for reasons that I will never actually understand, and I don't think she does either. But that was more of a if I see her in my house, there's going to be a real problem, and you're going to need to you won't need an ambulance anymore. But then she just like disappeared one day. I haven't seen her since. That was okay. Well, I was in Colorado at the time. I was there when Donnie was elected. I was there on election day, and it was last time I saw her was about 2 weeks after election day. So that was just weird. Troll, I met a German couple about 12 miles from the nearest road, 2 miles from the nearest river. They were spotless clean, very deep swamp with white shoes. You emphasized white shoes, so I'm kind of curious what difference that makes. How did they get there? Spotless clean in very deep swamp. Were they in a boat that got disabled somehow? And to put it very bluntly, I know a little bit about Georgia, Louisiana, Florida, the bayous and swamps down there. Some of that's private property. Were they on private property? Clean white shoes. I bounced out of there in a straight line to my boat. Yeah. How did they get there? And if it was private property and it's your property, no need to bounce. You're supposed to be there. And if they're lucky, they're just really, really lost and looking for help. At that point, they would have taken anything, including somebody that doesn't speak German. And if they're not lucky, then they're very, very stupid. Because every idiot on earth knows if you don't know swamp, like if you don't know desert, stay out of the swamp, stay out of the desert. Me, I don't know how to drive in the snow. You know what I do? I don't drive in the damn snow, so I don't go anywhere where there is snow. It's not that hard. Play with the settings here for a second. So I'm still kind of learning. Back to comments. Because at the end of the day, the comments are the most important part. I know what people are saying. So I promised you guys a live stream today, and I'm delivering as best as I can. You know what? I'm going to be right back. Since I can't give you the live stream I wanted to, I'm going to give you the one I actually would have. It's about to get real. All right. So me and Den, we're going to talk about guns, and I got my AR. Why not? All right. First, catch up on chat. Hi, lovely weather. Troll says, no, they said, hi, lovely weather. I said, yes, sir. It creeped me out. And you've heard of these people since from other people. Okay. I don't know what to tell you. All right. So this is obviously my AR. I broke it down for this. Mil spec, uh, uh, bolt assist. If you follow Forgotten Weapons, or not Forgotten Weapons, I'm sorry, InRange TV, they're doing the What Would Stoner Do project. They took the bolt assist off for their project, and Stoner would have done that too. but I leave it on. I talked to 12 different combat veterans who have all said that yes. Well, I've talked to dozens, but 12 in particular who said yes, I have used the bolt assist. Of those 12, 11 said that a piece of dirt or rock or sand or something got in there. One of them actually said the gun was dirty. The gun was dirty was actually at the Battle of Mogadishu. He was not one of those special forces guys. He was just common infantryman. If you've ever seen Black Hawk Down, the guy who was making coffee was not him, obviously, but exactly like that guy. Just common infantryman. That's Lance Corporal, I think, at the time, retired now, or out of the Army now. And he straight up said he had to use the bolt assist during the Battle of Mogadishu because his gun was just that dirty. I'm keeping my bolt assist. Other than that, this is a 14-inch barrel because I could not get a 20-inch barrel quickly enough, so I went with what I could get at the time. Barack's gun ban was coming down at the time. A couple of years later, I picked up this A2 UTE2. UTE stands for Universal Tactical Entry, and the 2 obviously is a second generation. You can have my iron sights over my cold dead body. All right, and as soon as Fixed Bayonets gets in here, she's going to start making fun of me for being a spurg because I will not give up my iron sights. Now, here's something funny. The Coastie will never, ever give up his iron sights, but the Marine, former Marine, got rid of her iron sights with her first one. Even her AK does not have the iron sights. I'm keeping mine. The only thing I would do differently, if I had the technical know-how, is redesign the UTE2 with permanently mounted flip-up sights. With the permanently mounted flip-up sights, your zero is going to change a little bit, but not as much. Those Picatinny rail flip-up sights, every time you take them on and put them off, you're changing your zero a little bit. That's bad. By the way, I had tested this with optics with a, I think it was an 8-power scope, my dad's. I didn't have a problem. It raised that scope up enough that I could see it over these sights. All right, this is my problem child, so I'm going to do it first. This is the lower receiver. The stock, as you can see, has a magazine sticking out of it. It's actually a magazine carrier stock, and I actually don't like it. It's a great concept. I just personally didn't like it. But I had ordered 3 stock AR-15 magazine pouches, stock attached mounted pouches. None of them have come. The last one was like 4 months ago. To give you an idea, I ordered this. I got it in 2 weeks, and it's been on for over a month now. And I still don't have any of those pouches in. I'm thinking about just buying a single mag belt pouch and mounting it on here somewhere, somehow. And then getting a 10-round mag. Well, getting another one because I gave it away. This came with a 10-round mag. I don't like 10-round mags. I call them concealment mags because the only purpose is to make a lower profile so that you can hide the gun better. But anyway, I might put that back in there and put the cleaning kit into the now retired magazine. And the other non-standard component is that really hard to open. But this is actually a carrier or compartment grip. Got my bang out there. My boar snake, excuse me. The idea is that I could literally walk out the door with nothing but just grab the gun out of the locker, walk out the door, and be able to maintain this for as long as I needed to. Yes, I want to replace the barrel. I can't. And yes, I would love to take that stock off if I could. I can't because those pouches still haven't arrived. I gave up on that. I'm going to see if I can do something else. All right, Troll. Seems they own land 15 miles down the river. Really? I don't know what they were doing that far upstream. No clue how they got there clean. Certainly wasn't clean. Oh my! You made it! Everybody! Exile is here. I'm sorry, the Marine has not made it yet. I think I know why. Troll, Exile is very special. So treat her nice. This actually one of the channels that I follow very, very closely. I did see that last video, and I'm not commenting for reasons which I think might be obvious. But I did give it a like. Red sweater, or yellow sweater, rather. I'm going to make the Marine talk or respond to that, or maybe Angel. I think that's more of a discussion for women only. Exile, you just missed my AR-15 presentation. I was showing mine off and explaining the components. And the parts which I wish I could go back and redo. Troll, that's not funny. That's not even funny, bro. Troll, you're from Georgia. What part of Georgia are you from? And I'm not asking idly. Within an hour or so of Florida by freeway. The reason I ask, I used to go into Florida. There's this guy down in the Panhandle area. Oh, Des made it too. All right. Everybody, Des is also very special. So treat her nice. Okay. I used to Panhandle area. When I was living in Colorado, I'd go down to Florida and pick up about a half dozen AR-15 80% lower receivers that he made in his shop. I would actually take, I think it was 20 from Florida back to California, then drive up I-5, dropping off these 80% and the complete kit for building it. I actually would take my old one that disappeared in the move. I would show them how to finish out their AR themselves. 3 hours to Florida. Damn. I think he might get back into business if I ask very, very nicely. He actually would make those AR, those lowers in his own shop. Actually, he was inspired, ironically enough, by Farmcraft. Only his were much, I'm just going to say it, his were nicer, little more of the mil spec. Farmcraft's was very utilitarian, it would work very well, it was not as pretty. You know what I mean? So, and I'm in Nevada now, right? Um, California border is actually closer to me than the nearest city. And I really hate no mandate. I'll just put it bluntly. I fucking hate no mandate. Just before California passed the um, law that said that you had to register a ghost gun, had a bunch of people asking for them, and you'd be amazed how many of them were in the Bay Area. Um, Fix Bayonets lives in the Bay Area, but she didn't even ask for one because she can legally order them through the LLC. But selling them, turning around, selling them, giving them away, losing them off the back of a truck, she has to have paper. I didn't. I'm sorry, Des, when you said troll, I thought you were referring to somebody being. I didn't quite connect in my head yet. Welcome to the shit show, by the way. You should have been here earlier. Yes, actually, that does. Delete that comment. That's actually much more. Actually, I will do that. Oh, I can't. Um, you're gonna have to delete it for me. The the ladies here are safe, but you know, I'm I'm serious. Delete that. That's more information than even I wanted. Take your time. Um, so yeah, that's my history of being a gun runner. Uh, doing it, and I was doing it just to piss off no mandate. Truth of the matter is, I never made a penny off of that shit. I lost about $200, but it pissed off no mandate, so that was worth it by itself. Troll, please remove that comment. Okay, that's not something everybody needs to know. You're a little too far from Florida to take a trip down there. This guy is very much cash only, no mail, no UPS, no nothing. That's kind of where I was going with this. But living 3 hours away, I don't think that's going to work out. It was worth a shot, though. Uh, Anybody can ask me anything, and as long as it doesn't involve felony, I will answer. You can ask me if I've ever committed a felony sex crime. The answer is no. I haven't even committed a misdemeanor one. No, it's still there. Okay. Right. It says it is, so that's maybe it's just showing up because it's my screen. Um, I have a pretty good lead foot. I actually committed felony speeding once. I was 18 miles an hour over the speed limit on I-5 southbound outside of it's next city down from Sacramento, Citrus Heights. Um, the cop let me off with a 14 and a half mile an hour over the speed limit. UFOs. Let's go with that. He kept me a break, and he kept me the break because I had that big fat Coast Guard sticker in my back window. Sometimes it helps. On the other hand, the time I got arrested in Louisiana, it went against me because they're like, oh, you were military, you should know better. Fuck is your malfunction, Sergeant? Those of you that's seen my sergeant's rant, that's what it was about. Um, you got busted going that fast? 85 and 25 zone. That's how? How do you get to that speed in that into that zone? Where you were street racing, weren't you? Ooh. Uh you were very, very lucky. Especially if the original officer had decided to go ahead and take it into the courtroom. Oh, was that a Prius? And I'm not idly asking. I don't care what this costs me. My dream car is a hybrid because I'm a cheap fucker. Okay, doing 100 miles to a gallon because I'm driving a hybrid. I'll paint her black and put stickers all over. Um, but yeah, the Prius had a huge accelerator issue. It was actually a guy who went to prison for manslaughter, first degree manslaughter. It was first degree manslaughter in California. And he was swearing up one side and down the other. His car went out of control. He could not stop. It was completely out of control. He's in prison for 2 years before a couple of California highway patrolmen and their wives died. They were driving a Prius down I-5. The vehicle went out of control. The accelerator not only got stuck down, but was accelerating more. And these are highway patrolmen. These are experienced drivers. That's all they do all day. They have like a 60-hour pass fail driving course, and they lost control of their car. That was the day Toyota started tearing that car apart, tried to figure out what the hell happened. Because both of them died, their wives both died. This is not somebody being irresponsible. And by the way, they were on 911 too, which must have really sucked. Toyota starts pulling those cars apart left and right. Oh, it's shims. The car got stuck because it needs shims. Yeah, they just happened to need shims just after they passed under electrical lines. Sure, let's go with that. Troll says he was driving a Ford Lariat, Eddie Bauer edition. Huh. That is a problem. Not ignoring you guys, I swear. That doesn't work. Okay. Not ignoring you guys, I swear. Okay, there we go. Okay. You're gonna show it? Thanks. Hey, that's better. Two watching now. So anybody wants to ask a question, go ahead. Only I won't cop to any felonies, so. The cruise control locked at 90. We never figured out what happened exactly. It was told it was a sensor. Okay. That has happened to me once, not 90 miles an hour, 75. And I was in a 75 zone, so I didn't realize the problem until I started slowing down to get off the freeway. That was a Chevy Suburban. Well, it was a Suburban, I know, because it was my mom's Suburban. And apparently it was a known issue, and I had just forgotten. Switching out cartridges, whatever. It's a sensor. That sucks. Yep, that's how it happened. Was fine through two towns and then vroom. Yeah, same thing with the Suburban. I was fine until I hit the freeway, and then somewhere along the freeway, it just got stuck. Um, yeah, I totally believe that that can happen. Right. Well, I'm going to move on to you. You heard that. I know you did. Uh, this is actually mine, and it's registered in my name. My next one will not be registerable, and it's going to be a 2.7. I really hate the trigger guard on those things, but anyway, Glock 2.2, and I have the 9mm drop-in mag. For those of you that did not catch that video, I can switch out from 40 cal to 9mm in about that long. My next one is going to be a 2.7, and then hopefully after that is a 6.12. Hopefully they'll be out on the market by then, but that's 2,500 is what they're talking MSRP, so I have to save up for that one. Never like your own video or your own posts. It's a sign of narcissism, something like that. Low self-esteem, I don't know. Really ridiculous, though. Um, okay, well, I'm going to fill this dead air with another C story. How about that? No, it's not a C story. Yeah, okay, a C story. This was from my days back in the Black Hole. Cutter Acacia, buoy tender out of Michigan. We're supposed to work. I'll get to that. We're supposed to work 2 buoys. Well, actually, we're supposed to work 4 buoys that day. We're going to take a lighted buoy out, and we're going to take a series of unlighted buoys out. We're going to move them all up one, and then we're going to drop a 4th class, I think it was, in so that the 3 unlighted buoys got moved up 1 point in the line, and then we dropped this 4th class in so that we would know where the anchor chains were next spring when we bring these buoys back out and the traffic lanes are open. And if all 4 of them got destroyed, well, that's unfortunate, but it's a whole lot cheaper than replacing a lighted buoy. It's also a whole lot less damaging to the environment because that battery will leak into the water. It's not lead acid, but it's still not good. Okay, we get up on the first one. That's the 2nd class. That's the last one on the line. Dead calm out, right? Like glass. More water was moving off of our bows than was moving around us. And I swear to God, as soon as we pulled up on that buoy, the wind kicked up. And the water was bouncing at least 10 feet more. Not 20, but at least 10 feet from trow to crest. This is not good. We're not built for this. Pulled up alongside it, got it hooked up, got it up on deck, got the 3rd class on, put it over. Move up, or the 4th class, excuse me. Move up to the 2nd class, put the 3rd class, got the 2nd class on, and I swear to God, that buoy tried to take out 2 of the guys. I remember I was up on the forecastle, up there with the bosun, and I watched that, and he hit the one guy so hard that it knocked him back and on his ass. Now, as forecastle seaman, my job is to tell the bridge where the chain is tending, because once we put tension back on that chain, it's going to take the boom whatever direction the chain wants to go. There's a nice big dent up on the flying bridge from where somebody was not doing the job correctly about a year before I got there. Okay. And I could see it, bam, hit them. I'm yelling out, up and down. And I could see the ops boss, the captain, and the XO all up there. They saw that, and I knew this. I knew what they were about to do. Okay. The look on the captain's face was pure pissed off, 150% pissed off. I've seen the man mad, but I've never seen pissed before. Finally get that buoy finished. Chief yells up to us as the bosun was reaching for his radio. I think we've had enough fun for the day. Request to secure buoy deck. And meanwhile, I'm up there watching them. The captain, XO, and ops boss are talking very animatedly. I already knew it was not even enough time to gripe anything down before they piped secure from ATON detail. We had to go back out 2 weeks later for all of this drama, and as soon as we arrived, the buoys were ready to come home. Okay, catching up on chats. I did see that, Des. Strange gun story. I saw that. Des says my next purchase will be a flamethrower, and believe it or not, that is not a regulated item. It's not, as far as I know. You're not required to register them. They're not considered class 3. I don't look at me. I don't make these rules. I do know that they have agricultural purposes, but when they have a 20-foot range on them, you'd think that maybe somebody in Congress would ask a few more questions. Yeah. Okay. Troll says I pulled a burn on my arms and hands. I'll pass. Yeah. I I've used flamethrowers for agricultural purposes growing up, and they can be dangerous if you're not paying enough attention. It is what it is. Um, Strange gun story. Reason I hate black powder. My dad had a musket when I was growing up, a fairly standard hunter's style black powder musket, rifled musket, percussion cap, and a horn. Okay, no problem. We went out to shoot it. Now, I did not know enough about black powder. Poured the powder down the barrel and I put the cap on. And then I put the ball in. Ball would not go past, I think, 2/3 of the way down the barrel. We tried to retrieve it. It wouldn't come out, wouldn't come out, wouldn't come out. Could not understand why. And then the extraction screw actually pulled out of the ramrod. That's how hard we were pulling it. I'm very lucky I did not get seriously hurt. When we finally figured out how to empty the weapon, we just fired it. No, Troll, not a double load. You're supposed to go powder, shot, cap. I went powder, cap, shot. And now I know why you don't do that. The air could not get out of the barrel, so the shot would not go all the way down the barrel. I don't like black powder. Um, Jim, who was here earlier, we met via Living History Comes Alive, and that's all Drew does all day is black powder, black powder, black powder. Yeah, yeah. Oops. Um, I will get a black powder revolver for the apocalypse, and then that's it. I'm not getting anything else. Might get a flamethrower though. Although I want my next gun to be a Glock 27 because they're concealable and they take 2.2 mags. And then after that, I want to get a Crytek 612. Brace yourselves. This is awesomeness. It is a double action shotgun revolver that can mount to an AR or any Picatinny rail. Actually, let me see if I can get a picture of one. Pull it up. Uh, 612. Okay. I have it on my phone, but I don't have it on my computer. Oh yeah, good. That's the perfect one. Save picture as. This PC. There. P enter man car. Enter. I am not ignoring you guys, I swear. Okay. Let's see if I can boomer my way through this. Um, and minimize. Dark. Park. And car. JPEG. It is here. It is here. I just brought it in here. Right. Let's try this different way. Yes, guys, I'm boomering really, really hard. Okay, troll. Good luck with that that conversation. Although maybe it won't go so bad. Um, well, maybe that'll work. Damn, there is a share screen function in here somewhere, and I wish I could figure it out because no, we'll remove him from the screen. Oh, okay, here we go. Not that one, you. Yeah. Well, guys, I can't figure out how to do this because I'm kind of boomering at this a little bit. Okay, well, let me see if that worked. Maybe it did. Oh, cool. Yep, that's it. And this here is a 612. That's the one I really want to get, but it's not out on the market yet. And worse still is it's not going to be on the market anytime soon. I think it might be in the military and police market because they're marketing it as a breacher and not as a shotgun. Okay, Des, I got a great answer for you. Glock 27. A 40 caliber Glock, subcompact. You could fit one into a very, very tiny uh, container. Um, and there's a drop-in 9mm barrel for it. My dad has a shield. Dad has a shield. I'm sorry. Um, I know it's about half as wide as my Glock, my 2.2, and it's about the same height as the 2.7, so it'd be even more concealable than that. Um, it would definitely go in a thigh holster, no problem. I will send you the holster that I got for that 2.7. Once I get one, I'll send that to you, that information to you. It's and it will take the shield. I know because I got my holster from my dad, who got it for his shield. The reason why I like the 2.2 and the 2.7 so much is when the end of the world comes, you can restock mags and ammo off of police inventory. And that's a shitty thing to say, but it's also true. And those are the 1.7 and 2.2 are the two most common types in law enforcement right now. You will not be able to depend upon the federal government, even if you're on the right side, on their right side, to restock you for pistols at all. And rifles, a lot of those 5.56s are going to turn out to be 2.23s that were mismarked. There is something new in that department, the 300 Legend. I just learned about it yesterday from the Idahoan show. He made his own 300 Legend shell casings. I would really recommend you not do that. Just spend some money and order real ones. He had a lot of trouble, and he's lucky he didn't have more. Mark IV, a Mark IV tank or Mark IV pistol there, Troll? Um, Give me a second. I'm not ignoring you guys. I'm actually there. There are things that I don't know. Oh, no, no, don't do that. Don't do that. There we go. There we go. Okay. Now that I know what the hell I'm talking about, uh, Des, that 2.7 would be roughly eighth the size of the P6. That's actually more on the size of a Glock 2.3, which you don't hear me talk about very often for a reason. It's too small for full size carry or for service carry, and it's too big to conceal. It's as simple as that. Don't you hate it when you put the cherry in your mouth? Ah, I'm not ignoring you guys, I swear. Trying to dig up what kind of gun Troll is talking about. Pink. Smith and Wesson Mark IV. I know that's I know that's not what you're talking about. Sorry, Troll, I'm not familiar with that one. It might be great and it might be crap. It's probably somewhere in between. Um, okay, 22. 22 is a very controversial round. James Brady walked around for 30 years with a 22 in his skull. Actually, it had uh, rubbed along or ran along the edge of his brain, and that was an explosive round. On the other hand, people have died from just one. So calling them crap is a lie. Calling them the best thing since sliced bread is a lie. And when it's a self-defense situation, you put out 3 rounds, that guy's going to start thinking about maybe robbing the other liquor store or shooting up the other gay bar down the street. And there, I just said it. I don't care. Um, also was a major, major milestone for gun advocates because there was really only one gun there. He walked in, shot the guard first, and then started shooting everybody else. Like maybe he knew exactly who to go after because he did. And what do you do then? Paul says it's excellent shooter, but sort of clunky. Looks like a blaster from Star Wars. Princess Leia's gun? Oh, okay. That helps a lot. I think I know the one you're talking about. So it's not a. Oh, you said Ruger's earlier. Yeah, Princess Leia's gun. That's actually the gun they used, and they put some sort of styrofoam or whatever attachments on the barrel, and that's what Carrie Fisher carried in A New Hope, at least at the start of the film. That's also what the ship's crew carried. And yeah, I mean it's not going to put somebody in the next time zone. It's definitely going to make a mass shooter change his behaviors instantly and completely. Just be sober when you're doing it. Troll says specifically it is the laser used by Inara on Firefly. I did not know that. Let me take a look at that picture again. I don't see it. It it looks too clunky to be a lady's gun. There, I said it. And concealment is going to not happen. You're not concealing that. Um, but that's all right. Sometimes you don't want it concealed. Um, if I had my 2.7 now, because I do carry at work, um, and I have to keep it kind of out of sight a little bit. because people complain. Shit, I just put the 2.2 on the one side, keep it kind of concealed a little bit, the 2.7 completely hidden on the other side. It's very accurate. I was very impressed, but it's too beefy for a pocket troll. Yeah, I can't see you concealing that in anything but a backpack, to be honest. Um, I'll come back to that too in a minute. But I'd have my 2.7 on the other side, and everybody sees the 2.2. They all know it's there. They're not even going to know I have the 2.7. And that's the trick. All right, about concealing guns in backpacks. Okay, good night, troll. You might want to stick around for 2 more minutes, and I'll get through this one quick. Back in 2016, I was at a very public event where lots of alcohol was involved, and it was a gun-free event. I had my 2.2 with me the entire time I was there in my backpack, and I don't know if well, I'm walking around this event, and this I think Nevada County deputy actually winked at me. I think he knew, but I think he also recognized the face from Facebook or something, or oh no, I didn't start that. I didn't start the PH channel until a couple years later, but I think he knew. Well, I know he knew I had the gun on me, but he also saw that I was not the person he needed to be worried about, because gun-free zones don't work. All right, good night, troll. I hope you heard that. Also, I have to take that back. It was not a backpack, it was a messenger bag. The kind that, only one strap goes from usually right shoulder to lower hip. Only I had it on backwards. I'm just saying. Also had a big fat blue gun hanging from a drill holster from that pack. And a grumpy bear hanging from the pack. It was hanging from this side. I had just gotten divorced, and for the divorce, the kids had given me Grumpy Bear because I was grumpy all the time. So I keep Grumpy because I still love my kids, and fuck you if you don't like it. And I had Grumpy with me, and I had the gun with me, and the cop saw it. I know he saw it. I just don't know why he didn't do anything else about it other than he saw what he needed to know. The only time I left the gun behind was the one night when I went and specifically got alcohol. Um, I'm gonna ask Des, Exile, you still there? Okay. No, that's not a good system. Sorry, I am really not ignoring you guys. Okay, back to it. Sorry about that. And then there's the 612 I really want to get. I might get a flamethrower and rig it for mounting on the AR. It's actually not that hard. It's just a pit canny. Um, put a pit canny ring onto uh, the directional part of the nozzle, the long skinny pipe that leads to the nozzle. Put a riser on that, and put it on the pit canny rails, and you got a flamethrower. Okay. And yeah. Okay. That's weird. Apparently, YouTube felt the need to inform me that I was live streaming. What's the point of that? Okay, I guess nobody else is here, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Uh, and this is the part where I get to. Oh, I'm not alone. Gun-free zones are a joke. Yes, yes, I've proven it. I'm not the only one, but um, well, let me rephrase that. I proved that gun-free zone is a joke. They actually inspected my vehicle, didn't find it. It was not like I was hiding it all that well. I just didn't put it out in plain view. This was a weekend event. So if you know the events, you know which one I was at. Yeah, I was there. With the geodesic jungle gym on site the whole time. And the two dinosaur. No, no, that was something else. It was another event where they were at. Okay, let me see. Des says, I definitely need to be strapped in Florida, but it's so hot. That's why I'll need a thigh holster to use while wearing dresses. Yeah, that's completely legitimate in general. I mean, even if, um, you know, even if it weren't hot out, it would still be legitimate. Uh, there is a type of holster that might solve your problem a little bit more elegantly. Belly band holsters. I just saw an ad for those on Facebook today. I'll see if I can get that to you later on. Um, but yeah, you need to be strapped anywhere on Earth, and here we go. He's about to spurt out on you. Only the United States and two other countries. I know Switzerland is one, and I forgot what the other one was. Guarantees a right to keep and bear arms. This should be every country, and I don't care what kind. If you followed me for a while, you know I hate Iran. Actually, no, I don't hate Iranians. I hate the regime, and even yes, Iranians should be should have the right to keep and bear arms, because the state can't actually protect you. They can avenge you if they can figure out who did it, but they cannot protect you beforehand. Only you can do that. Um, Having a gun is a good way. Even if the bad guy can see you got a gun, they're going to know that you might just respond. They have to kill you in the first shot, or you might kill them, and they're going to move on. They're going to pick somebody else who's an easier target. Flamethrower AR would be badass. Um, Here's me going really spurg. Is my belief is that mandatory carry should actually apply to everyone everywhere, up to the limits I've described in Dataslav. Um, Anything less, really, just eventually the people that want to put everyone into chains will sooner or later figure out a way to do it. That's why I spent so much pointless time when I was writing Dataslav to actually describe different types of firearms and what their functions, what their important functions were. That's why I spent so much extra time on assault weapons as its own little category, so that 200 years from now, somebody can't turn around and say muzzle loaders are assault weapons, because you can fire multiple rounds in succession or something. Just as a exercise of flagellation, um, I actually sat down and figured out how to define a black powder muzzleloader as an assault weapon, or more to the point, how to define assault weapon to include black powder muzzleloaders. That's the reason why I spent so much extra time, especially on that one. I addressed all the others as well, but it was just like, I think I copy and pasted off of Wikipedia for the definition. Um, that one, I actually spent the time and figured out how to put it so that 200 years from now, some off joke isn't going to turn around and say, yep, black powder, assault weapon. And I'm not the first to do that, by the way. New York Times did it long before I did. I forget the name of the article. It's 2014, where they describe black powder muskets as assault weapons too, because they're used to assault or some shit like that. I could literally shit out a better argument than that was. I'm not joking. I could literally shit out a better argument than that was. But they made it. And the only way to be sure that somebody 200 years from now doesn't try rolling that clock back again is by setting it up so that even if they wanted to, they couldn't. Or, well, there's one way they still could, actually. They could go to such a ridiculous extreme that stealing gum becomes a felony. That's that's the only thing they could do. And then the problem is that I also wrote it so that if you are disabused your rights under mandatory exemptions, you also can't vote. They would never, ever kill off their voting base by making sure that that everybody can't carry a gun. Well, then they can't vote. Defeats the whole purpose of trying to go there. Actually, that's not true. Not exactly. I did write it so that if you're disabused your right or your duty to carry, you're disabused your right to vote, and you cannot get your right to vote back until you regain your duty to carry. For felon, um, for felony, just for felony. That's right. It's been like 6 months since I read it myself. So, and of course, I know a couple people who are lurking, clipping this out right now as we speak. Yeah, I'm not as dumb as you think I am, guys. Well, somebody ask a question, including one of you lurkers. Come on, I know you're there. Right. Well, give me a second. I'm going to go grab another subject. I do apologize for the craziness of this stream. It was, like I said, it was supposed to be somewhere else. All right. Folding trench knives. I cannot find my folding trench right now. It's probably in my work pants. I do take it to work. So I brought this one instead. The way it works is it's a assisted folder, but it's got the notches or the rings for the trench knife, and flip it open and you can still use it, right? Believe it or not, and this is one of the places where me and Fix really differ, is if it were up to me, you'd actually be required to carry one of those at all times. The only exception would be those mandatory exemptions, and for the medical, the physical disability exemption, you'd have to demonstrate that you actually cannot physically use this device. Indigent exemption, well, no, actually, indigent doesn't get that exemption, despite the fact that they're otherwise completely exempt. They'd still have to carry that. And that's really just simply a tool that is extremely useful under pretty much all circumstances. Wow, that's kind of strange. Um, okay, I'm not sure what's going on here, but the laptop is just now, as I said that, decided to tell me that Des made a comment, even though my cell was telling me, pretty much screaming at me, that she had made a comment. And since, yeah, well, okay, by that definition, a knife can be an assault weapon since you can stab someone repeatedly and rapidly. That's true. assault weapon is a silly term. That is not exactly true. Um, it does have a very, very specific definition, and the first example was Russian. Every, pick your jaw up off the deck, guys. The first assault weapon was the Fedorov. Fedorov. It means automatic and/or burst fire compatible. That means you pull the trigger once and it'll go bang twice because it was designed to go bang twice or more. And fed by detachable magazine. In the entire world, I only know of one assault weapon that was not fed by a detachable box magazine, of which there are no surviving examples. That was the Pancor jackhammer. The guy that developed that, he made one in his workshop as a prototype. That one still exists. The magazine is not detachable. He made two more for delivery to the Army for destruction testing. They were both destroyed. And because the Army drug its ass for 8 months, I think it was, he ran out of money to continue the business. And that's it. It's actually profiled on Forgotten Weapons at least once. And I'm sorry, I'm not ignoring. I am not ignoring. I swear to God. Yeah, fix that. So yeah, and it doesn't have both of those characteristics. It is not an assault weapon. It is a self-loader or a box fed. I mean, there's self-loader shotguns that are tube mag fed. Those tubes are not detachable. There is a really cool mag extension that for tube mags that as it goes down, the tube will actually extension will actually slide into the regular tube. That's nice. It's also fixed. There is there are a lot of detachable box magazine fed guns out there. I under the impression that the first one in large scale production is the SMLE, which was a bolt action rifle from World War I. It was actually the Brits' main infantry weapon from the end of the Boer War to the adoption of the FNFAL. 70, 60 something. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that, but for some reason, my phone is telling me faster than the computer. Maybe I should be doing this off of my phone instead. Stupid machine. It's telling me the chat faster. It's not actually telling. Oh, it's not broadcasting. It's like a 5-second delay on the phone. I don't know. This must be the frustrations that Drew goes through. Right, somebody ask a question, for God's sakes. My personal everyday carry kit is actually my folding trench and my Glock 22. Can't hide it, but then again, I can carry it. I can open carry, so whatever. Oh, believe it or not, flashlight, some sort of flashlighting device. I really love the headlamps, but they're kind of difficult to carry unless I wear a fanny pack. And a lighter and my cell phone. How about that, boomer? Actually, ladies and gentlemen, I think you just met Angel because the smiley was correct. Whatever. Um. So yeah, that's my everyday carry. I have comms. I have light if I need it. I have a way to tell people to go fuck themselves permanently, and I have the knife, and I also have the other option that a trench knife always includes in case I need to tell them a little less fuck yourself is go away and stay away. All right. Oh, by the way, Boomer, you're late. Yes. By silly, I mean you can technically assault anybody with any weapon. You can assault somebody with your hands. You can actually assault somebody with your mouth. If I say I'm going to kill you, and I make you believe that I intend to, that is also assault. You can be arrested for that. Um, so don't threaten people. Assault is any time, any act or statement that imparts into the recipient an intention to do harm. And from my original college days, when I thought I was going to become a cop someday, the instructor, Dave, gave a very simple demonstration. He had somebody stand up at the front of the classroom. He said, I'm going to kill you. Now, Dave had been a cop. I absolutely believe he could kill somebody. That was assault. He then swung his hand towards the volunteer. That was assault. He then had the volunteer turn around, started swinging his arm around like this. And then he turned to us and said, Now, what's that? Well, it's nothing because he doesn't know anything about it. As opposed to battery, which is when you actually touch them in a way that they did not approve of. Apparently, brandishing is not assault. It's a totally separate thing by itself. Whatever. Um, I am not ignoring. I'm going over chat to see if there's any question I can answer just because I'm still here. And I'm at 3 hours? Well, no, I'm not at 3 hours. I am at 2.5 ish. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and run it another 30 minutes because I promised you guys I'd be here, and I'm doing the best I can to make up for it. Oh, oh, yeah. All right. I am actually sending a private message to somebody. Oops, I should have sent that to. Yeah. I also told a bunch of people that I'd be here privately, but I gave them Den's channel, so they're over there wondering what the hell's going on. Oops. Well, hopefully my Dune Coon will make it in. Spurg is an insult that means somebody who has Asperger's, and don't even you think about answering that, or I swear to God I'll be there with Matilda. The Randos. I remember that name. Rando, where do I know you from? It's going as well as can be, considering the fact that the situation kind of fell apart. Oh, good. Being. I'm so sorry about this. I was actually hovering around Den's for like 10 minutes trying to figure out what happened, and he no showed. We talked a little bit about guns and a little bit about policies, and this video will be unlisted, um, but it'll be available for everybody who's supposed to be here. For the people that I invited and can't invited over to Den's, and he no showed on me. How you doing, bud? You staying off the Rona? To give you all an idea how much I prepped for this, I dug these things out of a box from 5 years ago and remembered to pick up cartridges today on my way home. So at least I remembered them. Rando, it's always good to know you're okay, man. Hope school starts for you soon. Rona ain't getting me good. If you got any questions, go ahead and ask. That's pretty much the only thing I can do. I gave a quick breakdown on my own currently 2 guns. You guys are way the hell back like an hour ago. I think maybe next time I'm going to invite people over to my channel so that I know it happens as planned. I am not ignoring. Rona ain't getting me good. Don't let anybody get you, bro. Besides, I need your technical expertise, remember? Beanie, Fix was in earlier. It's probably still hovering around somewhere. And, oh, thank you for that. Fix was in earlier. She's probably still hovering around. Uh, Exile was in earlier. Hopefully she's still hovering around. That's not a bad idea. And like I said, this would probably be really deep into technical details of 300 Legend at this point if it had gone the way it was originally planned. Rando, I believe that the proper term for that is distilled spirits for cleaning solvents. Cleaning solvents. For all who care and a few who don't. Rando's joking about moonshine. He's a gas station attendant. Or gas station? Convenience, like convenience store gas station. But he, because of the part of the world he lives in, it's actually the lower level of the building, the family home. So that's what he meant by moonshine. Okay, we're gonna run another 15 or so minutes, and then we'll wrap it up. I'm gonna leave this as unlisted for the sake of the people who were the sake of the people that I reached out to and said, "Hey, this is gonna happen. You got to be there," and then it didn't happen. My apologies to all of them. Rando, if you still have a way of reaching out to Jinx, please do for me. She's mad. She's mad at me. Tell her I'm sorry. And I am not ignoring. I am actually checking to see. Okay. Thank you. You're lucky I can't delete comments from here. Remember, I'm still only a day away. I still got Matilda. Just saying. Ah. Ooh. Rando says, I read Makeup Stream and thought you'd be doing makeup. About that. The same time I was taking that police training, I did take a drama class because it fulfilled an arts and humanities requirement. So I learned how men should apply makeup. And the secret is to make your eyes more sunken into your head, so darken them. And forgot the rest. But the real secret is to get your eyes really deep sunk. So basically black them out. And for camouflage, what you want to do is make this less shiny. This a whole lot less shiny. That's actually all I know about it. Rando, I don't actually know how to do makeup to save my life. That would be hilarious, though. That would be the funniest shit ever. Let me rephrase that. I'll do a live stream on how not to do makeup. That'll be the title. How not to do makeup. Don't do makeup this way. He'll be there. Yeah, I think I'd end up being there too, as it were. Um, Damn. By the way, is that a SIG? No, actually, not exactly. This is an old style. Let me grab one that doesn't have tape on it. Green smart movie. This is an old style. Ooh, ooh, you can't really read that. Electric cigarette. And the new vape styles, what it does is it somehow vaporizes the liquid. These are cartridge style. So there's no smell. Nobody knows, unless, of course, they actually see you do it. And there's no fire risk. Been thinking about switching over to these when I'm at work, just walking around all day smoking and see what they say about that. You're not supposed to smoke at my site because it's um, high flammability. They use a lot of magnesium and shit. Okay, simple. Explain it simply that way. Magnesium is highly flammable. We just had a fire last week. Apparently, the guy who was on at the time actually just pushed the cart out of the building. How? I don't know, because that's really hot. But he drug the bin out of the building, just let it burn. It actually burned all the way through the blacktop and into the ground below it. Okay, get some questions in, because we're going to wrap this up in about 10 minutes. If you were invited here, which means you can see it after it's uh, been closed, after we end, and you'd like to join me sometime, let me know. No, Rando won't. I'm pretty sure Des won't. Um, I think Troll would eventually. I harassed him enough. Jim would someday. I hope. Might have to trick him. Anybody at all. No face cam. Funny story about that. I try not to hide behind my avatar, which I can. Uh, no, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to do that either. Oh, right. There we go. Huh. Okay, so this is what I would look like without the cam on. And I don't do that for myself. Um, because I got a compliment from somebody who hates my guts. This is about, well, this is when I first did the very first videos, which someday I'll actually talk about how that came to be. Um, I'd done the first video, I uploaded it, it's on the internet now, and it was strictly in response to a situation that was then thence developed. And I went to one of those moms demand blood money front companies, the one the one that David Hogg started, Million Kids March or whatever the hell it was. Anyway, somebody makes a comment there, and I just gave a link straight to that first video. I think it was the basics. And she said something. She said, "You don't hide behind a picture like most of these cowards do." What cowards? I don't think Iraq veteran even has an avatar. Military Arms Channel does have one, but he's never used it in a video. But fuck that. you're right. I'm not going to hide behind anything. So I do it to be as offensive and obnoxious as I can. Um, because she didn't like the fact that I was not hiding. She was. When you're dealing in the truth, you don't have to hide behind anything. And unfortunately, that's the truth. The only thing I can't do is literally announce my real legal name, which some of the people in here I think know. Well, Fix Bayonets knows my real legal name, but that's because we have an LLC together. And I know this one's heard my real legal name. That's the only thing I can't do is announce it, because the next time I do, if somebody comes knocking at my door at 2 in the morning again, the sheriff's department might not be as kind as they were last time. And I did it once anyways, just to piss off my host, because he had bait and switched me. He said, "Oh yeah, it's just going to be the five of us," and it turned out to be like 20 people, three of whom I actually do hate, two of whom I just don't like. Although I give the one money from time to time, so. Rando, I think you meant to say, I just want my online and offline to be separate. Pretty sure you didn't mean don't. And that's, you're not advocating for something. I am. That's the difference. All right. They're very, very slightly technically, legally, me having that mandatory carry rather than my legal name is illegal. Never seen it enforced. I'm not sure how they would. But yeah. And by the way, I do have the LLC. So if you wanted to track me down, you could eventually. And then you'd have to camp out in the parking lot for 6 weeks until my cousin comes up to Oregon. She picks up the mail, and then you'd have to follow her. Good luck with that. She used to be a cop, and she drives 18-wheelers now. Just say. Yes, I meant I want them separate. Yeah. That's what you meant, bro. I'm too shy to put my face on camera. Des, you're a pretty girl. Come on. Besides, you can see how red-faced I am, and that's not a sunburn. There's somebody else I owe a big apology to. Um, Apparently, I am the evil twin brother of somebody that I've known since 2000, just after Rio, so 2004? I think it's 2004. I sent her the link to Den's, and I didn't send her the link to this. Jackass. Gitmo, sorry. I'll make it up to you. Okay. Well, we're hitting 3 hours now. So if you want to get a last cheap shot in, go ahead. Be the last chance to do it. Okay, guys, we just hit 2.5 hours. Or 3.5 hours, excuse me. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. AR-15 with the A2 UTE2 is God's own weapon. Glock 22 and 27 are the ultimate pistol combinations. 9mm drop-in mags or drop-in barrels are your friends. Gun-free zones don't work. Don't ever switch somebody's barrels out without telling them. Don't work on a buoy tender if you can avoid it. And Rando needs to go to sleep. You can call me Spurg like everybody else does. Or a word that rhymes with forget. I'll tell that story next time. Hold me to that. And in the meantime, keep calm and mandatory carry on. Okay. We're ending 3,